In this video we'll be continuing with the C# tutorials. So we'll be learning about dialog boxes. So we'll be moving on to dialog boxes, an open dialog box and a save dialog box, I believe. So let's talk about those. So the open file dialog and save dialog controls. So let's just do a little bit of notes here, nothing too much. It'll be mostly code examples. We've already gone over these in the notes. So if you haven't seen that video, look back in the playlist to find that. I'd recommend just starting from the beginning. That way you know what I'm talking about every time. Because I do everything in increments. So we're starting to get a little bit advanced now. So let's just work on that here. So I'll just create some notes here. Using Writer again. Okay, let's just do some star comments, multi-line. So I'll have here, so the open file dialog and save file dialog. Controls, basically they're dialog boxes. Okay, so we have so remember, open file dialog and save file dialog controls allow your apps to display standard Windows dialog boxes for opening and saving files. That's all you really need to know. So they pretty much the exact same thing in Java, JavaFX, which is for PC apps. Android has something similar. I think it's something similar to this. We'll talk about those later on. Okay, so we'll have to use a part of the designer named the component tray. So that's at this part here, somewhere underneath here, I think. Here. Actually, no, where is it? I think it goes underneath the form like that. I've kind of forgot. We're going to do an example in a sec. Don't really like the drag and drop, to be honest, but we'll just use it to start. Okay, so to display an open dialog box, we have to do something here. Whoops. That will be this. So we'll do some notes here. So it's a code note. So basically, assume that we have created an open file dialog control and change its name to open file. So let's just pretend, let's just do an example here. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about the whole example later on. So let's just pretend we have open file here. Open file dot show dialog. So that's going to show the dialog box. So that's an open dialog box. Okay, so let's let me just scroll down to here. Okay, so what do we have here? So I think we've done this already. But open, so show dialog boxes return a dialog result. Either it can be okay or not okay. I think it's okay or cancel. It's okay. I'm not sure what the other constant is at this time, but we'll figure it out. You don't really need to know that. You just need to have one that's okay, and if it's not okay, then it's basically cancel, I think. May not be named cancel, but it's just well, let's just say that if OK is false, let's just go with that since we have okay. So what am I talking about? Someone's like, what the hell is this guy talking about? He doesn't even tell us. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you right now. So we have another, well, I'm not going to say example again. Actually, okay, maybe I will. So we have example here too. So let's just say we have if open file dot show dialog points to dialog result dot okay. No, that D should have a capital. Dialog result dot okay. That's the value right there. So if it's not okay, then obviously it's false. Then it might not be cancel exactly. We can say that it's not okay, which means that if it's not okay, then okay is just false. Sorry, if okay is not true, then it's false. But basically here we're saying if the open file dot show dialog points to dialog result dot okay, then we want to say that message box dot show you click the open button. So let me just type that out here. Oops. Keyboard went away. Some glitch with the keyboard in Riders, it's still glitched out. Okay, let me try something here. There we go, okay. What's happening with that? Glitched. Let me try looking at my keyboard here. Change the symbols or something. There we go. Okay, that happens sometimes. I think there's a shortcut on my keyboard that when I click something it changes the keyboard settings. So here we can say messagebox.show. You click the open button. So if openFile.show dialog points to dialog result.okay, then we'll say messagebox.show you click the open button. Then else, so if it's not this, if show dialog does not point to dialog result.okay, then it points to something else. So we'll say else here. That in the case where it's false, then we'll say here that messagebox.show you click the cancel button. Whoops, sorry, I think I just hit the mic by accident. Sometimes my hand hits it because there's like a foam coming out. I'm wearing a headset. I got a headset mic. The quality's pretty good, but sometimes I hit it with my hand when I'm typing. Apologize about that. Okay, so now we have the file name property. So when the user selects a file with the open dialog box, the file's path and file name are stored in the controls file name property. Where do we have here? Okay. So I'm just going to have a look at what we talked about in the notes here. Where does that? Sorry, let me just open that here. I have that on my other PC. Let me just open that up here. Excuse me. Okay, so we have, what was I just talking about here? Okay. The file name property. Okay, did we talk about that? I think we did. We talked about show dialog. There we go. File name and initial directory property. Okay, perfect. We did talk about it. So when the user selects a file with open dialog box, the file's path and file name are stored in the controls file name property. Okay. So we can just go right into the example then here. So example 3. So example 3, we have a stream reader object reference variable at the top. So stream reader input file, then if open file dot show dialog points to dialog result.ok, then we'll say input file points to file.openText, passing in the parameter open file dot file name. Open file. Okay, what is open file here? I think there might be, sorry, okay, so it's assume, okay, so this is an assume example that can get confusing. So assume open file is the name of an open file dialog control, okay. That's kind of a half example, I'm not really liking that, apologize for that anyways. So we'll do the whole lab example coming up in a sec, I think. So input file points to file.openText, passing in open file.file name. Okay, so here then we would continue processing, else we can say messagebox.show operation, or just op cancelled. Okay, so then we would have that was the file name property, which we haven't completely done, but we know that. Basically, file name. So when a user selects a file with the open dialog box, the file's path and file name are stored in the controls file name property. I assume it's the open dialog box, or the dialog boxes. When the dialog box, so it's the dialog box's file name property, basically. So the initial directory property is something else. So by default, the open dialog box displays the contents of the user's documents directory or folder. You can specify another directory to be initially displayed by storing its path in the initial directory property. So for example, here we have, so the following code stores the path C : /data in the open file controls initial directory property before displaying an open dialog box. So I believe it's what you can see for the first directory or something like that. Okay, so let's go for the next example here. Example 4. So example 4, then we have open file dot, what am I typing here, sorry. Open file dot initial directory points to, let's just pretend this is a path we want to be displayed. So it's string literal C : /data. So then here we'll say if open file. If open file log, sorry, not file log. If open file dot show dialog points to dialog result dot OK. I would have just called a dialog box or something. Open file, okay, so that's fine. We haven't really instantiated those or pointed to any of those objects yet. Okay, so hopefully we'll get into that in a sec here. So if open file dot show dialog points to dialog result dot OK, then we'll do something, whatever you want to do. Then otherwise, then we'll have something else. The message box dot show the result was cancelled, whatever. Okay, so the title property. By default, the word open is displayed in the open dialog box's title bar. You can change the default text displayed in the title bar by changing the controls title property. Okay, so title property as well. So this will probably end the note. Well, some more code example notes for open file dialog basically. And the next one we'll do save file dialog. The save file dialog control. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the so sorry, just before that, don't worry about the rest of this code here where we're supposed to, where basically we assume the open file, which is just a dialog box. So in the lab we'll do the full thing from start to finish. So don't worry if you're still confused. So that video will be on the channel. It'll be right after. It'll be within. So it'll be in the C# playlist, Code Invest C# playlist. It's on my channel. Just look for C#. So whatever video it is, this one is, it'll be after that one, most likely. In the worst case, it'll be before, but I don't think so. It might be though. Just have a look, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the video, you can like and subscribe to the channel to support the channel. So in the next one, we'll be doing the save file dialog control. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Take care.